Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final round coverage of Old Hollow Classic, stop number 13 on the Disc Golf Vermont Tour. This is Angus Barstow. I'm sitting Raivis, the head of the greatest media team. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing so well, man. This is so exciting. We're back, baby.
Got great players lined up for this final card. Chris Martin, resident of the North Country, a very experienced player. And Hunter and Clayton Davis both made it over from the lead card for the first round. Fourth player is Jacob Moore, playing his first MPO season, an incredibly well-rounded player. He's got all the skills and a great mental game as well.
Yeah, good crew of players, and we actually saw two of them in the first round. Make sure to check that out on our channel. And this is such a beautiful course. I was torn whether I should play or film, but I ended up choosing to film because I love this place.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the player favorite courses for sure. This is hole one. It's slightly downhill, 380-foot par 3. You're thrown out on this little knoll. The trees early right that you can see there can be kind of tricky, and the fence long is out of bounds, though I've yet to see someone find it.
I almost found it last fall, don't you worry.
There you go. Here's Chris Martin. He's throwing his McGlow Rock 3. Didn't quite turn it over as much as he had hoped, but this is a hole really you want to get out. You want to pick up your par. The birdies are pretty rare.
And he's kind of showing off his power already, throwing a Rock 3 there. I mean, this is a 380-foot hole.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot of distance. There's Clayton going with something a little faster, straight at it. Fantastic forehand player.
And he almost aced it twice first round. That was insane.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Here's Hunter. He's throwing an AVR 3. He's got incredible distance with the slower speed discs.
Yeah, I won't reveal what I'm throwing on this one. Jacob throwing a sidearm, and he's throwing a lot of Discmania from what I saw.
So they're out of the gate. Yeah, it looks like Jacob turned it over a little bit, but pitching up. Happy to take 3 and get the round rolling.
Averaging 3.19 of par is just fine.
All right, and here's Hunter looking. He's got to give kind of a lofty bid to get in there. Yep, smart with the layup. The back slope there can be pretty tricky on the rollaway. Yeah, that one looked like it was flirting with the roll, but ends up hanging on. Should have a short putt for par.
Great putt
Great
by
putt
Jacob.
for Jacob.
Yeah. Way to start the round.
He's a very strong putter, very confident.
Shout out to Rusty for helping with the catch cam. Big help.
Rusty seems to be helping with all the major events in Vermont. He's a behind-the-scenes guy that does a lot of great work.
It's funny you say that because I met him at Smuggler's Notch.
Yep. Keeps that course looking pretty.
Yeah, shout out to Aaron Schlossberg for the lone birdie on that hole. Very tough birdie to get, but awesome job there.
Yeah, well done. Here's hole 2. Maybe 180, maybe 200 feet to carry the pond, depending on where you land. The drone is flying up the main gap right here, which plays very well to a forehand or a turnover backhand if you're a right-handed player. There is another gap on the inside, but it is a sneaky one to find.
I love this hole. It's just so pretty and sets up beautifully.
And Chris was actually he was playing the hyzer line, which you can do, and kind of crashing down near the pin. He was throwing a Firebird on that.
I was wondering what he was doing because I've never seen that before.
Yeah, and it's a tricky line, but I've seen people pull it off. Clayton also throws a Firebird. Gets cut down a little early, but it'll be close.
Hunter loves this disc.
Yeah, he throws a swan on almost every shot he possibly can, and he putts with them as well.
That was just a beautiful line. I wish I had a follow flight guy for editing because this one was just up there.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to see it from 2 angles because that was an absolute peach.
One of the easiest holes on the course. Definitely expect people on the lead card to get birdies here.
Yep. Here's Jacob going to that strong forehand, trying to play that upper gap and fall down line.
Might be an ocean.
Yeah, I didn't realize Hunter almost aced that, it looked like. Good guy.
Yeah, dude. That's why I want that follow flight.
Absolutely. Looks like Chris cut out of the hyzer a little bit early. He's down kind of in that ditch. Managed to give it a good run anyway.
Yeah, I was impressed by Chris's game. And is he a local? He's got to be a local, right?
Yeah, he lives up very near this course, actually.
He chooses some interesting lines, you'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to play with him in a handful of tournaments this year. He's a great guy to play with. Oh, just too low. Brutal.
Yeah, I was rooting for him to get that one. That would have been a great putt to get.
There's Hunter with the easy bird, making it look so clean. Love it.
He's so chill and relaxed out there. It's kind of great to see because a lot of people are very tense sometimes on these lead cards.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. He knows how to keep it very smooth. On to hole 3, the 333-foot par 3. Plays probably closer to 400 feet, big uphill, and often one of the windier holes. You usually have a tailwind on this hole, so that definitely can change the way your discs are flying. We'll see what Hunter goes with. Typically a wraith on this shot.
First round, he almost aces it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he does here.
He has really impressive distance, that's for sure. Looks like the tailwind got to him a little. Hyzered out early.
Didn't get the flex he got first round.
Here's Chris throwing a Z force.
He gets it up there.
Oh, he smashed it. You don't see people getting long of the pin very often on this hole.
Look at that. The wind is doing a lot of things out there.
Yeah, between that and the fact that you're throwing uphill, it exposes the plate a lot on this shot.
And Jacob, I think he's throwing the Enigma here, and that was just beautiful.
Yeah, perfect turn.
Averaging 3.19, not the easiest hole, and he just made that look a little too easy.
Yeah.
Whew.
Wow, look at that. 2 of them go along the pin. This is
seriously.
fantastic.
And look at that view. I mean, this is why I wanted to film it, because I get to see views like that.
Yeah, this property is absolutely fantastic, and it hasn't been in the ground for very long, and already it's one of the best courses to play in the area. And definitely, if you're in northern Vermont, go stop by. They got a fantastic pro shop, and the course is so much fun to play.
It's only been like 2 years, right?
Yeah, which is just amazing given
that's
given
crazy.
how it looked.
Yeah. It's
unlucky putt with the AVR there for Chris, but it stayed nearby.
Jacob, a little low there, but
that's the farthest drive I've seen on this hole. He was maybe 30, 40 long. Absolutely incredible.
Well, you said it plays like 400, so going another 30 feet, that must be what, 450 he's pumping?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, uphill the whole way. Good putt from Hunter.
Great job. And only birdie was Zachary Parikh. Shout out to him.
Wow, it's an impressive 2 to get for sure. All right, yep, just tapping in and rolling on to probably the signature green of this course, coming up on hole 4. Got some amazing stonework and an elevated basket, and it drops off. It's hard to see in the footage, but it drops off after the stone wall back there. So you really don't want to go long, and it's pretty tough to end on that circle of stones without getting a skip. So it's interesting to see what kind of tactical play they'll bring out.
It's great that you have course knowledge here, because I didn't know that you couldn't go long, and then I saw the first round footage and I saw where you were, and I was like, dang, dude, that's
it's brutal. It's one of those holes where it looks so pretty, you just want to watch your disc throw in, but of course that's just for danger.
Absolutely.
Both these guys throwing relatively slow speed discs. I think Hunter threw an AVR, and looks like Clayton's throwing, I believe, his zone. So you can power down on this one. It's more of a touch shot.
Definitely trickier than it looks. I mean, I go up there, I'm thinking automatic birdie, and I'm never really within 20 feet.
Yeah, and it's exposed too. The wind definitely makes it tricky. This is Chris throwing his 10-year zone. It's definitely a tougher approach than it you feel like it should be. You know, it's tough. It's tough for sure.
I like what he did with the stonework too. I don't think that was there last year.
Yeah, it's definitely it's an iconic looking approach for sure.
Nice little tip for course designers to do something like that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jacob was in a tough spot there, but Chris Martin looks like he has a look here.
Yeah, it looks like he'll have to contend with the ceiling a little bit, but he's a good putter. He could make this go.
Ooh.
Oh, decent run.
I think the Annie putt is probably the hardest putt in the game.
I agree. I essentially pencil it up as a 2-putt if I have an Annie putt for my first one. It's not friendly.
It's like me with flicks and Hunter Martin, apparently.
So Hunter went a little long, but not too bad. He's just near that stone wall.
Yeah, very manageable here. And I think he's wearing earplugs the whole time.
Yeah, he'll often play with some music rolling in the background.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good putt to get. I mean, he's near it, but with that uphill in the wind, you're exposing a lot more of the putter to it. So,
yeah,
good jam.
The replay is showing the wind picking up for sure.
Definitely a windier day 2 at this tournament. We woke up and knew that we were going to be contending with some different stuff than we had in the first round.
I couldn't have asked for better weather. I mean, for fall day, October.
Oh, yeah, it was a great weekend up there. All right, hole 5, shortest hole on the course, though a technical one. It's descending. It's hard to see how steep this hill is from the drone, but we're descending down right to left. There's a little stone wall that you want to get over. You can throw a backhand or a forehand with a slower disc. You just really want to hit these chips and kind of skittle towards the basket a little bit. But definitely there's some trees that can get in your way on the way down. It's a narrow line.
Yeah, averaging 2.52. It's definitely one of the easier holes on the course.
Yeah, definitely one you want to get, for sure. Here's Hunter. He's going, I believe, with his R-Pro Pig.
Oh.
So he caught something early.
Yeah, I thought he was going to sneak down here. I love this Annie forehand play. It's such a smooth play here.
I think it's the play because you, by the time you get down to the green, you're landing relatively flat, and the spin helps you a little.
And Clayton Davis is looking sharp with that birdie shirt.
All right, you're putting.
Oh, the man knows how to dress for final round. That's for sure.
Yes, he does.
Here's Chris going with that zone again. He's very comfortable with this disc.
Yeah, he throws that better than any other disc in his bag. You're going to see in even some of the back 9 holes.
Yeah, and he's parked. Look at that. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful shot there. That's what you want to see on this hole.
So yeah, Hunter got kicked down a little early. He'll have looks like a long Annie run to the pin. Not a spot you want to end up. This is tricky.
He was in a rough spot.
And Clayton also didn't quite make it over the wall. Goes a little bit long. Gives a good run anyway.
He could have given it a little more, but he's rather safe with his circle 2 putts.
Great putt from Hunter. Probably somewhere near circle's edge for that.
Great save. He needed that. Keeps the
Absolutely.
momentum going.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
2 birds for the round so far. Nice job, Hunter.
It's interesting. This opening stretch of the course, a lot of them feel like must-gets, but it's hard to string them together in a row. Jacob just a little bit short there.
This is one of those courses that kind of puts pressure on you on these shorter holes too, and you want to execute, but the more pressure sometimes that it gives you, the less you can perform sometimes.
Absolutely. No, very much so. There's a lot of glow going on this weekend too, and we're coming up to a hole where A friend of mine, during the night, he said, "Oh, it's so much easier when we're playing from the short boxes." He kept parking it every time. And we remind him, actually, no, you're throwing from the long pin tonight, man. So it just goes to show you when the pressure's off, you can execute in a different way.
Exactly. And in the dark, there's no pressure because you can't do anything about it.
This stone that the drone is flying over now is really the key feature of the hole. It's a narrow line with a low ceiling. To get up and over that shelf is tricky. You got to hit a pretty assertive shot to get through it. And then, of course, you don't want to blow by it. So here comes Chris throwing a Barsby Eagle on the forehand, and he absolutely mashes it.
If you don't have a forehand, this is going to be a tough hole for you. So I can see why it averaged almost 3 for the day.
And in typical Hunter fashion, he throws that flippy backhand perfectly, and he'd be the guy to be able to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I'd probably go with the thumber just because it's almost a little too difficult for a forehand for me. What a great shot by Clayton there.
Yeah. He did the same thing the round before as well. That low Firebird shot is one of his. I mean, it's a stock shot for him, but it's a technical shot for the rest of us.
Absolutely, and he just plays it so well. Oh my gosh, he almost aces it.
Yeah, that was incredible.
So he's looking for his second bird of the day there.
All right. On the other side of it.
Oh, and Jacob just finds the inside trees there, which is a common play, and he'll just have to pitch up with a forehand. There you go. Well done.
Little Galactic Mini shout out. Pretty sure every player owns one of those.
Yeah. Hunter was a ways down the hill on the left. He must have had a bit of a kick to get down there, but he'll be happy just up and down for a 3. Move on to the next one. Chris, look how long he went. This is way back there.
Oh my goodness. What a good bid though.
Absolutely. He putts really well with those AVRs. Very, very strong.
Yeah, Chris is just trying to get it going. He's only even through the round so far, so I feel his pain. He definitely needed that one.
Yeah. Clayton's so close. Easy 2 for him.
Mm-hmm.
Chris taps out the 3. The one real advantage also to the forehand on this hole is you can see Hunter standing on the slope up to the right. If you're fading in, you get a bit of a slope to stop your shot. With the backhand, if you end up getting through there clean and it fades, you're falling off the hill and you can end up going a lot longer.
Yeah, and if you don't have a forehand, learn an overhand because it will fade to the right for you.
All right, onto a very tricky, not long, but tricky par 4, hole 7. You're throwing through this initial very tight gap, and then it breaks downhill over the road, and then you kind of get to a fairway of 3 lanes. You can see one on the right side. We're going to be flying through the main middle center gap. And there is a narrow gap farther left of this, but it's really not the gap you want to find yourself playing. Favors the forehand. You can turn over a backhand, but this initial shot, you got to get through this opening gap if you want the bird.
Yeah, first round we saw that it gave a couple of players some trouble, and that's a great shot by Clayton. Wow, that's exactly where you want to be.
That is way up there. He'll have a short approach. Here's Hunter with that glow AVR 3 again. And it's just perfect speed. Yeah.
Oh, and he gets a good kick.
Oh, it's perfect.
Oh, great.
Oh, he knows it.
Hollow.
Yeah.
Show some love.
Showing some love, Cold Hollow. Love it.
Yeah, and Chris, this is back with his McGlow Rock 3. It sounds like it caught something relatively early. Tough break.
Oh, get off that.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, that's early.
Yeah, those are the two. They're really they're skinny trees, but they can just send you into no man's land so quickly.
And luckily,
Jacob was lucky to fall down where he did. Actually, he could have gone deeper in there.
I was just gonna say that, and he's a good forehander, so this is just plays perfectly for him right there.
Absolutely.
Let's see, partner there. That'll work.
Nice shot there. That was very well executed.
Chris has got cut down near the short box for a long turnover line. And it also gets cut down. I mean, there's a lot of traffic on this fairway, that's for sure.
Hunter in a great spot looking for his birdie.
Yeah, you should be inside the circle with that. Comes out a little low, catches a stone. He should still have a putt, but a long putt likely.
Can't keep those this low on this course.
Yeah.
Learn that fast.
And Clayton was able to jump putt his approach. That was one of the longer drives I've seen on this hole.
That was insane. He just broke that hole in half.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Jacob looks like he's got to come up something a little sneaky. Yeah, and he pitches up. He'll be happy with a par, given how that first drive went. I mean, he made the most of it.
Yeah, compared to day one, the players definitely got the memo. They averaged 3.8 the first day and then 3.6 the second day. 12 birdies.
Fantastic. All right, on to hole 8. There is a straight through gap. You can barely see the pin through now, but we're going to fly through the main fairway, which is to the right. Typically, people play a backhand with a little bit of a skip at the end. The ceiling makes this shot pretty tough, though, and there are a few late trees to get by. But if you can skip kind of where the drone is flying over now, you'll usually dribble up an easy putt.
You need a hard fade, whether it's the Annie fade or the Heiser fade.
It's definitely it's a big curve on this. Clayton, of course, choosing to throw the forehand, but he throws this old beat buzz really, really cleanly on that, and so close to getting through to a perfect spot.
I was just going to say that could have been parked. And this hole is one of the harder holes in the front nine, actually, averaging 3.1.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Hunter's throwing his R-Pro Pig out there. It worked perfectly for him in the first round. And knowing that it's a shot that he can execute, might as well go back to it.
Jacob getting the memo with the forehand.
Heads up.
But doesn't get the spin or Annie on it.
Definitely came out a little early, though. Made it a ways up there, so he should be able to get up and down for the 3.
Ooh.
Oh, that would have been a highlight putt for Hunter. Oh, my God. I mean, he must be, 70-plus feet for that one. So close.
He's had a few already this weekend.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see.
Chris tries the little touch shot, but looks like it hooks on his finger a little bit. Easy to have that happen when you're throwing that slow with a forehand approach.
All right, Clayton, get the birdie here. Come on.
And leaves it short. There's Jacob tapping in his 3.
Dude, only 2 birdies on this Angus. I couldn't believe it. I know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Corey Clark and Nolan Power.
Nolan would be the man to do it. He's got some crazy skills. He's a fun guy to play with, and he seems to pick up a lot of the holes that no one else gets, which is, it's a good skill to have, especially when you want to create some separation.
And speaking of separation, how about this hole?
Oh man, yeah. This hole is really tough. The drone is flying down what is kind of the main fairway, but it takes a 90-degree cut to the left, and one that, given the ground play, is really, really hard to skip around, and you're thrown very downhill as well. So really tricky. A lot of players try and cut the corner and play down the river, but that's flirting with danger because the river is out of bounds.
Yep, and averaging 3.19, one of the hardest holes on the front nine. Clayton got kind of lucky there because he could have been OB very quickly.
Yep. And there's Hunter. He rarely throws the forehand, but he gets that one out there. It looks like it ends a little short, but not in the drink, which is the key.
Yeah, he says, that's all I need. And this was just fantastic.
Yeah, that looks perfect.
Yeah, he's pumped. You don't see too much emotion from Jacob, but when he parks this one like he just did, whew. And I don't think he knows he parked it. I mean, I think he just knows from the reactions that it was a good shot.
Yeah, that's about as good as it gets on this hole.
Holy.
Okay, who does a sky hyzer other than Chris Martin here? Because that was incredible.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I didn't realize that shot was coming, and I haven't seen that play. But apparently, there's a window up there.
There is, and he saw it.
There's talk of changing this hole up a little bit so the box would be in a slightly different place and be playing down the river a little bit more, which would make for a really scenic play. We'll see if that happens in the next few seasons.
Yeah, I don't know if you've played Rockwell in Connecticut. There's a really nice river shot that kind of play along it, and it's just set up beautifully. That's sort of what it could remind me of, actually.
Yeah. That was a few shots of the next hole, hole 10.
And that was Dana Carpenter, our guy who did all the drone footage. So thank you.
Yep.
Really
There you go.
appreciative.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thank you, Dana. Yeah, both Hunter and Clayton were on the wrong side of the river, but still safe. They're pitching up to take their pars. Wow, this is where Chris ended up. Are you kidding me?
That's what I'm saying. That sky hyzer.
Oh, and unlucky, can't make the putt, but that's a ridiculous line that he chose to take. I love it.
I think he got overexcited. You know how that happens. One of the first blemishes for Hunter Martin this round. He takes a bogey, and that will set him back to 2 down for the round so far.
Yeah, that's tough. And this green is very fast. Even making that layup play can be tough. It can end up scooting along pretty quickly. And look at that. Great play from Jacob. Absolutely fantastic.
Only 3 birdies for the day. Alex Ferguson and Tyler Moriarty and Jacob Moore. Shout out to them.
Well done, guys. Yeah.
And that's it.
Right, that'll wrap up the front 9.
Some great footage. Just a big shout out to Angus. Thank you for doing commentary here with us. Shout out to Curtis and Jade and everybody involved in this. I mean, we can't wait to show you the finale because things pick up.
Amen. Thank you so much, man. Great being here with you.